Another year came to an end, and that of course means it was time for me to declutter my electronics lab to make it look all nice and clean, do some electrical work at the new house, and also sit down on this chair right now and do a small recap of what happened in 2022. The main topics will like always be my video production and how things will move forward, the house project about which I told you about 1 year ago, and ultimately I selected some spicy questions from Patreon, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook that I would love to answer. Of course, like always, you can check the timeline below to skip to the parts that interest you. And with that being said, let's get started with the video production segment. Now, last year I said I would put more effort into creating more enticing thumbnails and titles for upcoming videos. And that is exactly what I did. And I think pretty easy to spot if we compare current thumbnails to thumbnails from, for example, 2020. Of course, going into full clickbait territory was never my intention, because I'm not a fan of clickbait either. But with this kind of curiosity clickbait, I was hoping that my average views would stop going down and a bit up again. And all I can say is that after going this route for more than a year now, is that it is really true that clickbait is unreasonably effective on YouTube. For example, in 2022 I got 32 million views, while in 2021 it was only 28 million views. Which does not seem like a big difference to many out there, but let me tell you that I really notice a difference when it comes to the video engagement. There were also quite a few videos that gained over 1 million views in a rather short time period, which is also not normal for my videos. Especially the AliExpress Hidden Gem video series performed exceptionally well. And the first part was actually the reason for the biggest spike on my YouTube channel yet. So needless to say, the AliExpress Hidden Gem video series will continue. Even though I think it's a bit sad that such easy to create content gets more attention than, for example, a big electronics project I planned for weeks or maybe months. But then again, this is how YouTube works, and it's not like I have no fun while testing AliExpress items. It just feels a bit like cheating. But anyway, during the videos of 2022, I also tried out new intro styles, more jokes, and lots of other things, while of course staying true to electrical engineering and detailed technical aspects. And I think for my videos, I actually found a sweet spot this year, which I will continue to fine-tune in the future. So in a nutshell, everything is going pretty good, and I will continue doing what I did in 2022. The only big change this year was changing up my release schedule, which I did right after my summer vacation. Before that, my usual release schedule was 3 videos in 3 weeks, then a 1-week break, and then I repeat the cycle over and over again. But after summer, I only released 1 video every other week. And there are basically 2 big reasons for that. The first reason is that my videos just got bigger and bigger. And yes, you as a viewer do not immediately notice that because the runtime is always about the same. But for me, I was just pouring more and more hours into one video to get it done. And since I have such a tight release schedule, it was one project, then the next one without any breaks. And as you can already guess, without any breaks, that is definitely not a healthy work environment, and I really felt that. So I said, okay, I have to put an effort here, do an effort here, and just slow down the video release schedule so that I do not go crazy. And the second reason is that I just had big projects on my bucket list for way too long that I wanted to do. Those projects include the drone project, the smart socket project, and also my garage electrical installation video. And without breaking up the release schedule, the tight one, I would have never had the chance to do them, so I had to do it. But the big question is now that those projects are over, will I switch back to my old release schedule? And the answer is I already kind of did in December, I actually released 3 videos. So that's the old release schedule. Will this continue in 2023 though? Not sure. I think I will say there will no longer be a fixed release schedule, meaning that if I'm working on bigger stuff, there will be fewer videos, and if I'm working on smaller stuff like basics videos, AliExpress videos, there will be more videos. I think that's the simplest solution that will hopefully work for you and also importantly for me. Okay, with that being said, I think I talked enough about my video production. So let's move on to the house projects. And here I think the big question on everyone's mind is, why am I still sitting in my apartment? Because as some of you might know, I signed the contract for the house construction in August of 2021. And now at the beginning of 2023, it is still not done. The reason is simply that I underestimated how long it would take to plan the house, get the permits, and of course the house construction company also had to prepare quite a few things. So long story short, the construction actually only started at the beginning of August 2022. So 1 year after the contract was signed. On the positive side though, I cannot complain at all about the guys who built my house. And that is saying something because we Germans love to complain. At the moment, the shell of the house is done and a bit more, which basically includes the main structure, the roof, we got windows and a door, and the electrical wires are also all in place. What comes next are the water pipes, bathroom installation, heating, the floors, painting, and some other things along the way. In theory, the house should be done by the beginning of May 2023, and I hope to move in around July or August, so basically 2.5 years after I bought the plots. Crazy! If you want to see more, you can of course check out the new garage video, and I think there will also be project videos about the house, so look forward to that. And with that being said, let's move on to the last part of this recap, which are some questions I handpicked. And let's start off with Patreon questions. Before that though, let me firstly thank my Patreon supporters for their continued support. Thanks to you guys, I can work on electronics videos without having to worry about my finances too much. So yeah, big thanks for that. And if someone is out there who is interested in supporting me through Patreon as well, then check out the video description. But in a nutshell, you only have to donate $1 per month to get early access to my videos, and through Patreon is also the easiest way to get in contact with me. Okay, first question is whether making videos is still fun for me to do. And luckily the answer to that is definitely yes. Of course, it can be a bit tiresome sometimes to do voiceovers, write scripts, or edit videos. But then again, it is so much fun just playing around with electronics, new electronics, learning stuff, discovering stuff, building stuff. I love it. And I think it's a very enjoyable job overall. Next, someone asked how I stay motivated when things don't work out or take longer to complete, and how this affects my upload schedule. My secret is basically here doing big stuff behind the scenes. So basically I have smaller videos on the front, basic ones, smaller projects where I know I can get them done in a smaller time period. And I do those regularly, and the big stuff is behind the scenes. I work on those when I got free time in between smaller projects. And basically when I see at a point, okay, there are no more big trials and errors involved with the big projects, I put them on the front. I'm like, okay, I can get them done in a week or two. Then I finish them up, they go online, and all in all they maybe take around 3 months in total time, but definitely worth it, I would say. And just this switching around from small stuff to big stuff is definitely my secret here, to not get too frustrated with the big stuff, because like I said, there will be errors, there will be problems with that, and so that you can always switch around. I get a smooth upload schedule, I get big and small projects combined. I think it's a win-win situation here. Next, someone asks if there will be more home renovation / improvement videos. And all I can say about that at the moment is that the first video in the new house will be about setting up an electronics lab, like this one. Because after 10 years of making videos about electronics, I think I have a good idea of what you need to organize, how you do it, and that is why I can start fresh with the new house, and I hope you're looking forward to that because all the details will be included there. Next, someone asked why there is no electric car charger in your garage. And the answer to that is pretty simple, and it is that the charger will be positioned elsewhere. Now, I already pulled the big and heavy cable for the charger into the garage, but that cable will be later extended to the carport, and that is exactly where the EV charger will also be installed. Next question is, are there any YouTube creators you would like to collaborate with, and what kind of project would you do? I think the closest I got to a collaboration was with Bitlooney, who I actually met on Electronica this year. We talked about a collaboration maybe 1 or 2 years ago. The project was and still is an oscilloscope, where I basically design and make the hardware, and then Bitlooney does the software magic. The big problem though, like I teased it already with my release schedule change, I have too much work on my hand. I go from one video to the next and don't really have time for such a collaboration, so far at least, and that is why it didn't work out so far. Maybe that will change, who knows, but please don't blame Bitlooney, blame me. What's the project you're most proud of? To make it easy for me, I will only include the projects of 2022. And here I have to say that my favorite ones / most proud of projects were the drone project and the smart outlet / socket project. Funny thing is though, they didn't perform exceptionally well, but for me they were just my favorites because I learned so much new stuff. And I think that was the best thing for me. And another best thing that happened to me during one of those projects was finding these tiny transformers here that can safely sense mains voltage. Awesome stuff. Next, someone asked whether I have any plans to expand. And here I clearly have to say that I love making web videos, I think I'm good at it, and that is why I will stick to that and not branch out. The workload, like said before, is quite big, but I still want to work by myself just because I love having all the creative control, doing the videos the way I want them, and second of all, I can work at my own pace. So because of those two reasons, I will basically continue doing videos like I did them before. With that being said, we come to the last question, which is about how to learn PCB design. And here I have to say that I'm definitely kind of still a noob when it comes to PCB design. If you want to learn new stuff, you can search the internet. Altium also offers lots of tips, and recently I discovered the YouTube channel Phil's Lab, I think. I'll link it down below. Definitely check that out if you want to learn about PCB design. Awesome stuff. Okay, I think with these 8 questions I answered the most interesting ones I could find. But of course, if you got more, then write them in the comment section below. Yeah, and with the recap complete, I think you should now be up to date on what is going on in my life with the video production and how things will move forward. And as always, I hope you're looking forward to the new videos in 2023. Now, there's only one thing left to say, and that is stay creative, and I will see you next time.